What's up, guys and gals? Welcome back to the Nerd Castle. Today in the world of indie games, we're going to be checking back in on an old amigo. This is a little title called The Black Grimoire. If you've never seen this game before, it kind of has the distinction of being one of the only games out there right now that fully captures the vibe of playing a single-player version of something like RuneScape. This is a massive open-world medieval fantasy sandbox where you can basically do whatever you want. Right now, I'm farming hairy spider legs for some alchemist that's at a festival that's definitely not up to anything dubious, even though his name is Dubious Potion Vendor. And so anyways, in this game you'll find crafting, you'll find home ownership and furniture building. You will find the ability to go out and fight spiders, trolls, monsters, get treasure, do whatever it is that makes you happy. And so today we're going to be taking a look at the game for about 30 minutes and seeing if it's something you wanted to add to your wish list, or if it's one of those games you would rather not play for yourself. That's also perfectly acceptable. If after watching this you wanted to get the game for yourself, I think the game's really, really cool. I think it fulfills a niche that most other RPGs have completely and totally just sort of ignored, and I actually think that's why this game is kind of taken off, and there's a lot of people that really, really like it, is that if you want to play a RuneScape-style grindfest game, but you don't actually want to pop online in order to do it, this game will satisfy that criteria. And so anyways, the link is down below just in case you wanted to give it the old saucy click. On top of that, you can also find a bunch of Nerd Castle links down there, just in case you wanted to give them the browse. But let's go ahead and dive straight on into it. So as previously mentioned, I'm out here trying to get spider legs, and I'm also out here trying to grab a whole bunch of spider eggs. That way I can take them back to a dubious potion vendor who's definitely up to something, but like I don't really know what. Unfortunately right now I am very, very poisoned, and we're headed into like dark interior environments, and I haven't nearly gotten all the legs that I wanted. Is there a difference between these two, or do they only like, ooh, a copper broadsword, that's good. That'll vendor for a little bit of cash. I don't know if you've noticed, but I'm not very financially diversified right now. I'm kind of broke. Tried to block that, but unfortunately block didn't get it. Let's try right there. We go. Got him with that block, and then we finished off the spider. We've got a sheepskin hood right there. That'll work too. I need to get away. Oh, Christ. This is bad. Run. Run! Flee for your life. Drink potions, maybe? Maybe that'll do it. See if you can block an attack right. Hey, and we got the heal proc. So in this game, you've got all kinds of abilities. You're going to have all kinds of trade skills and things for you to work on. What did he drop right there? Did he drop anything? Hairy spider leg. I think I need that. I think I have all the stuff that I need in order to turn this quest in. And once we get back into like a brighter, more well-lit environment, because I have now made one of the fundamental mistakes of YouTubing, and it's that I opened up a video on a very dark environment. I was not expecting the sun to just go away on me like that the moment I stepped on in here, but if we come back over this way, we should be in good shape. There we go. A little bit of ye oldie-fashioned light. So for right now, what I need to do is I need to get my health moving. I'll eat a loaf of bread real fast, and then we'll put ourselves in rest mode real quick. That way I've got my HP coming back, and then we'll go through some of the basics of the game. So in this title, you are a nondescript guy that you were a king a long, long time ago, and you've been resurrected by a necromancer who has shackled your will to his power, and so you're jumping through hoops doing a whole bunch of random little errands that he feels like you should do. But you've been resurrected like 150 years in the future into a world where there's all kinds of problems. It doesn't look like it right now. Everybody's just like at the fair and having a good time, but there are many different invasions of bad guys and factions taking place inside the context of this world, and the only way for you to defeat them is to level up various attributes and also skills in order to get strong enough to continue churning your way through the content. If you've played RuneScape, it's basically the exact same thing. You will get a quest, you will go to do that quest, you will get promptly stomped, or you will not have the trade skill proficiencies required in order to finish it off. That right there will goad you out into the world to start doing those things, leveling up those various skills so that you can come back and complete that quest and get the fat loot and the fat rewards. I think this guy over here was the one that wanted the spider legs. For right now, there's some things that I haven't even done yet. I haven't really done any archery, I haven't really done any crafting, I haven't really done any fishing. However, I have been going decently hard on attack and defense. I'm about level 20 in those. My alchemy and my cooking are right around level 10 right now, and then my blacksmithing I've actually put put quite a bit of work into, too. That one's actually almost as good as my attack and my defense after a considerable little grind. This guy over here, I have the spider parts. Melvin dumps the spider parts into the cauldron, muttering while he stirs the pot. Wonderful, just wonderful. I knew one of you would eventually come through. It's simple statistics. Wait, you sent more guys out there? He never mentioned that when he gave me the quest. Melvin pours his juice into vials and packs them into a box carefully. There's a lady staying at the Singing Sparrow Tavern when you enter the city, not far from here. Ask for Iris Raven. She'll be waiting on the package. She knows what's in it. You'll get your share of the goods when the delivery's done. Agreed? All right. Yep, I'm the hero of this story, so I'm not going to question why we've got a whole bunch of poisonous spider parts and we're transferring them into the city to other people that are definitely questionable. I'm not going to ask any questions because I need a paycheck right now because I'm kind of broke. Excellent. Just remember, South Haywind, Singing Sparrow, Tavern, Iris Raven. All right, well, I guess we can go ahead and do that. I found that all of the narrative text in this game, so there's really kind of 3 different types of quests inside of this title. There's the main narrative, which is still currently being worked on. This game is in early access, but the reason that guided me towards making another video on this is that they've put out like 2 fairly major content patches that add big chunks to the world since the last time we covered the game. And so like it felt like it was time to come back on in and look and see what they've been playing around with. Is this the place right here? Singing Sparrow. All right, Iris Raven. I'm looking for Iris Raven. Oh, that odd bird? She rented out the attic, but I don't think she did it for the cheap price. Seemed like she preferred crawling into a small dark corner to hide in, you know? Just climb up the stairs and you'll find her. All right, that sounds fine. That's not a stair, that's a ladder, but I get what you're saying. They're both methods of forbearance and elevation. Like, I understand what you're saying here. Iris, is that you? Unless I have business with you, you better back away slowly down the ladder if you know what's best for you. Calm down. I've got your stuff right here. Do you always treat your Uber driver like this? I try to be polite. You should never mess with anybody that has access to your food in an isolated location where you're not able to watch. And so, like, look. Do you want the spider legs or not? I could put extra spit in them next time. The alchemist from the Harvest Fair sent me. She takes the package from you without saying a word, inspects the contents, and removes her share of vials. She hands the rest back over to you. The rest is for your payment. You know what to do with this? No. Right, of course you don't. It's better that way. Here, take this too. It'll help you figure things out. She hands you a tattered book from her bag and hands it over to you. Okay, thanks. A piece of friendly advice before you go. If you need more of those vials, Melvin might fix you up with more of the stuff, but maybe you've already discerned how to brew it yourself, yeah? Is it like a poison? That's gotta be what it is, right? Unlock the ability to craft venomous black hair extract using alchemy. And that's kind of one of the things that I'm glad that happened, because that's one of the things that I like about this game, is that frequently, like, the quests and the tasks and the jobs and things like that you do in the game, they'll give you XP and they'll give you like some money, but a big chunk of the quests actually give you like new proficiencies and new things that you can do and new things that you can craft that sort of markedly change your tactics going into future fights. This right here is Haywind. It's a very, very large city. In fact, it's kind of this game's version of like Stormwind. It's a very, very big city. A lot of the quests are going to be focused around here. There's going to be a lot of stuff happening inside of this area. Loads of quests to pick up, lots of activities, all the trade benches you could possibly require, and of course on top of that, services like banks. This game does have fast travel, so if you're trying to get around the map, you can actually get like a ride on a horse. Oh, we got a new ability from the book. I wasn't expecting that. So coat your blade with a deadly spider venom and let your foes feel it in their veins. Hell yeah, dude. One of my complaints thus far is that there's not actually a lot of active abilities inside of this game. And so I'm glad to see that, like, some of the quests will actually set you up with that stuff. Yo, those spiders, their loot is actually, like, fairly valuable. I'm gonna throw the spider webs on the ground because I don't care about them. And just like in RuneScape, this game very much limits your access just to like inventory space. There are bags and things that you can get that'll hold extra stuff just to take that sting off, because in the original RuneScape, the size of the inventory was designed with transit in mind for basically keeping the economy healthy. You can only carry so much stuff to market. Mind you, I haven't played RuneScape since like 2004, but anyways, back in those days, I remember that being the justification, is that, you know, they wanted the economy to be limited by how much players could carry and just ferry around the map at a time. I have found that a lot of the narrative stuff is actually pretty well written. Like, it's got these little touches where you can tell the developer actually knows how to write. Just like with that last quest, where, like, he failed to mention that he sent a bunch of other adventurers to his death. There's, like, these little sub-notes in some of the dialogue that pop out. But anyways, there's, like, 3 types of things you can do in this game. There's, like, main quests, there's like full quests, and then there's activities, basically. The first 2 being like the larger consequential things that actually give you sick rewards. And then the third one, activities, are usually just sort of like fetch quests or quests that encourage you to get out into the world and start crafting things that you have to deliver to supply certain villages. Things like that. Right now I do have a quest to kill off a bandit named Nils that's out here in the woods somewhere. So I figure we'll probably go look for him. Do I need to do any alchemy before I go? It'd probably be a good idea. I only have 1 health potion left. Let me grab some of these alchemy supplies because I'm actually in an area right now where there's a whole bunch of things that I need in order to make health potions. That'll also give me a second to go back to the alchemy bench too and check to see how hard it is to make those poisons for the venomous strikes, because if these stack to like a reasonable level, I may start carrying a lot of them around with me in the near future so that I can just kind of like pop that ability whenever I feel like I need it. More DPS is never a bad thing. Okay, so I've got all my potion supplies lined on up, and I guess I'll show you like an introductory run into just how all of the crafting and manufacturing works inside of this game. If you've played RuneScape before, it's quite literally no different. You find the stuff that you need, you plug it into a workshop bench, you click a button, and then you get a whole bunch of them. I actually kind of wish, I'm coming off like a 60-hour just binge session of Aska, and one of the things that I really liked about Aska during the course of my coverage of it was that in Aska, there's lots of different stages to all the crafting while you're working your way through it. So like when you're doing blacksmithing, for example, you got to go get the ore. Then you got to bring the ore to the forge. And then you've got to do a mini game while you're using the bellows in order to get the impurities out. And then you take the bloom block out, and then you've got to hammer out the impurities again. And then you take the bloom on over to the blacksmith shop or like the metal worker. And from there, you've actually got to like forge the new weapon by getting rid of impurities further. Like, I love that there was like 6 mini games that went into making like a single item. I wish that this game had a little bit more of that. Like the old school sort of World of Warcraft way of just crafting things feels a little sterile in the modern world. It's not like a major complaint, it's perfectly fine, but I do think adding a little bit more complexity, like even in RuneScape, if you wanted to make bread, you gotta go get the wheat, then you gotta take it to the mill, you gotta turn it into flour, then you gotta mix it with water in order to get it to become dough in like Ultima fashion, then you've gotta go find an oven. Like there was still like those extra little steps in there, like having to go to the mill. From what I've seen so far, this game doesn't really have those steps, but the good news here is, so long as I'm not swapping out topics too quickly for all of you, we should be all nice and set up to go hunt this bandit out in the middle of the woods and see what the reward is for that quest. So now that I'm resupplied, it's time for us to head out into the outskirts of town and see if we can track down this bandit. From what I can tell, probably, so the militia camp's right there. It's probably that right there would be my guess. Let's see if we can just auto-path over that way. You can click on any of the maps in this game, which is a great quality of life thing, because frequently there's going to be sizable travel times for you to get to point A to point B. There are a network of griffin-like structures, so there's stables all over the map, basically. They function just like griffins in World of Warcraft. You can just hop onto one, and it'll, like, fly you, basically, to where you want to go. It still takes time, but it doesn't take as much time as actually hoofing it there by yourself. Over on this side, this does look, these are level 16. Okay, we'll see how some of the opening fights go, and if I end up getting chewed up too badly, we'll retreat and run away. Dying in this game, sort of punishing. So when you die in this game, you do drop a lot of your stuff on the ground, and then I'm going to see if I can, get him with that shove move right there. There we go. That'll allow my block to recharge. I've got a couple of different talents and things that make it so I have a strong chance to heal whenever I block an enemy attack, so I'm trying to trigger that on cooldown. As of right now, I only have like 4 abilities, so I have an attack that's off my global cooldown right there that you can see me using. I have a block that will automatically block the next attack no matter the source. It doesn't matter if it's ranged or if it's magical, I block it. period. There's no way to get through it without soaking a block right there. I've also got an ability that pushes the enemy back super far and stuns them for a second. That way you can kind of catch your breath. It usually gives you about a 3-second gap before they're able to rejoin the fight, which is usually enough because most of the cooldowns in this game seem to be about 5 seconds. Sometimes you just need to get that down. Ooh, a cooked pebble sturgeon. Weirdly enough, I actually need those, and I can't fish them myself yet because I'm not a very strong fisherman, and so that actually helps out with another quest that I'm working on. And the whole game to me kind of feels like that. Like the loot tables in this game, they actually feel pretty well developed on out. One of the common foibles in a lot of these sandbox style games is that in an effort to make the player manufacture all of their own gear personally, sometimes the world feels like nothing good drops inside of it, or at best, all you get is like crafting parts. Not the case with this game. I find that in Black Grimoire, the enemies, they actually drop compelling loot. It may be kind of a rare loot drop chance, but they do drop things that can be upgrades, and if nothing else, most of the loot in this game seems to be really, really fairly priced. Let's get him with the poison strike right there. Yeah, dude. Got him with a little bit of that old poison. Oh, he hits hard. Okay, well, poison hits hard too, and it's actually eating him up right now. Oh, he hits super hard. All right, let me drink a couple potions real quick. I'm gonna stun you, knock you back, get my health back real quick. Yep, just keep blocking. I need that block proc. Oh, he's healing, you little bastard. All right, oh, he's got potions too? Oh, my man came prepared. Stop drinking those, dude. Those are my potential loot for the future. Bro! Oh my God. My face when I've healed myself about 150 times, and my enemy just will not stop healing himself. You gotta be kidding me right now. Keep the poison on him, dude. That's the only way we're making advances on his health right now, is through just solid applications of poison. How many health potions does this idiot have? Oh my God in heaven, dude. Okay, well, I've got bad news for you. You're actually about to witness the death penalty in all of its glory right here on camera. So the death penalty in this game is a loot run. You drop a whole bunch of your loot whenever you die. It's pretty much randomized. It doesn't look like I dropped anything important. It looks like I mostly just dropped like ancillary stuff that doesn't matter. And so technically this corpse run is kind of optional, but also I need to get my pride back because this guy absolutely whooped the tail off my face. And so we got to get back in there, and I've got to go reclaim my stuff so that at least I can hold my chin up high and not be embarrassed. And so let's head in that direction. I think I should have ran away a little bit sooner. The loot may be a little bit too close, but as you can see, some of the enemies in this game, they spam consumables like way too much. And it probably needs a solid nerf because it's like at the point where it's cornbally. I mean, I get that the player can do that, but I have to prepare for like 45 minutes before I can do that on a consistent basis. Whereas, like, I kept expecting that guy to run out of anything, and he didn't. He just kept having more healing potions, and he just kept having more steaks and things to eat. What a dick. Unfortunately, we got respawns right at a bad moment. So I am going to have to clear back through here and see if I can grab my loot. I don't think I dropped that much on the ground, though, looking at my bags. We should be mostly okay. Copper round shield, that's good. I need that for a quest, too, actually. I need copper broadswords, and I need copper shields for a quest that I have across the map. This bandit tribe right here is causing a bunch of problems in the narrative. Hey, attack level 21. Dude, I just did like 30% of my quest just by looting guys. Is he going to pull on me? Let me just grab my goodies off the ground real quick. And I've got my goodies. I don't know if I want to take another stab at him. This time, I have, like, no consumables for fighting him with, and it may get a little bit stringy. Like, it may get a little gristly giving this another go. Then again, these bandits are dropping sweet loot, dude, and so, like, I'm okay with farming his guards a little bit, too, while I'm over here, just to get some XP. A copper warhammer. Okay, I can take that. A Haywood sickle sword and a copper plate helmet. These guys are dropping mad loot, dude. Like, the stuff that they're dropping is actually valuable. I'm about to make cash when I get back to town. Keep blocking you. Okay, I was hoping I'd get the heal proc right there, but didn't get it. And then they dropped a little bit of cash on that side as well. I don't know if I want to give this guy a go again. I had potions last time. He hits like a truck. It's because he's got attack level 20 and defense level 20. And so, like, my defense is only at 18 right now. I haven't found, like, a consistent way to get my defense to keep up with my attack. Like, it feels like my attack rapidly outruns my defense when I'm leveling it. But let me see if I can take him one more time, and if it ends up being close to successful, I'll just cut you back in. I got him! All right! Just barely, but we got him. What did he drop? Reflex Potion, Nils Yellen's Kukri. Okay, is it good? He also dropped Highwayman's Armor, which it's got really, really bad melee protection, so like it's not really going to help you that much when it comes to getting starched by melee. But, oh, maybe that's the quest turn-in right there. Did he drop that document? Can I loot anything back here? No, there's no treasure behind your carefully protected boss? Deeply upset. Okay, well, we did get a Haywood Sickle Sword. We did get a Copper Plate Helmet, which is really dope. We got this armor right here. I actually think that this armor would be kind of sick if you were messing around as a mage, maybe, just because the spell resistance on it is really, really good. Honestly, I may keep this in my backpack because one of the fundamental decisions you have to make in this title is that when you wear heavy armor, so any armor that's good versus melee, is conductive and makes you really, really bad against magic. So in the suit that I'm wearing right now, I'm actually really, really resilient to most attacks that come from physical sources like arrows or knives or bludgeons or whatever else. However, I take basically like double damage from any wizard. And so going up against wizards, that gives 22 spell resist, which is really, really good. I would consider wearing that, actually. What do we have over here? A tempered copper dagger. Interesting. It's super accurate, but it adds basically no damage to our attack. I can give it a try for a second. I mean, what's the harm in trying? I feel like for right now, what I really need to do is I need to replenish my supply of goodies. And so let me turn in this quest real fast, just because I'm curious about what the reward's going to be. That guy was a really, really tough fight, so I'm guessing the reward's going to be solid. Rewards in this game can be anything from items you can't get anywhere else, like special weapons, special armor, things of that nature. But sometimes you actually get skill books that will just like level up one of your skills, which is really, really nice. How goes your hunt for Nils Yellen? His pillaging days are over. You've done it then. Truth be told, I wasn't sure if I could expect to see you again, but I see you've got his kukri just as I requested, so may not seem like it, but while I sent you to commit murder, I've also, in doing so, you spared many lives. You've done Haywin City a great service. You have my gratitude. Also, a small payment I managed to scrape together. Keep the blade as well. I expect it may prove handy. Next time I'll know who to turn to when my scouts identify more bandit leaders to target. Okay. Oh, we actually got his weapon, so it's just a better version of the dagger that we currently have. Yeah, I can get down on that. 42 accuracy is good stuff right there. Hell yeah, dude. Can't really see it because of the contrast of the ground, but like, hey, I'll take that. That's all right. I do need to farm up some more food, and I do need to farm up some more poisons, and I do need to farm... This poison attack, it hits like a truck, dude. This poison attack is the only reason that I was able to take that guy down. But anyways, this poison attack right here, it hurts. And so I kind of want to keep that well stocked. That thing is going to become a linchpin of my overall strategy. You got a new job for me? Good work bringing an end to the raiding days of Nils Yellen. It was long due. My scouts brought me reports of movements of 2 other raiders, even more menacing than Nils, I'm afraid. There's work for you should you wish it done. Not remains now but the rubble of the village that was called Baron's Green due to the west of here. 2 notorious figures in particular reported to have orchestrated its destruction. Astratov the Razor and Harkon the Mangler. I've heard credible witnesses of their crimes and received scouting reports of their known locations. Thus, the only thing that remains is the hand that delivers swift justice upon the reprobates. Okay, I'll deliver it. Hakaron remains in the ruined Baron's Green village to the northwest, continuing to revel in its destruction, and Astratov retreated back to the wilds where he is most comfortable. I've told he's camped somewhere in the woods on the northern side of the village. My gratitude for taking on this thankless duty. Bring back a token from each of the bandits so I shall rest knowing their days of bringing terror upon our lands have come to an end. All right, sounds like a plan, dude. I'm going to get out here, and I think what I may do... I still need to kill rabbits, dude. I still have, like, this level 1 quest to find perfect rabbit ears that I have not completed yet. I have committed just absurdly ridiculous genocide on all rabbits for my entire play session, which is approaching, like, 13 or 14 hours now. and I have not found a single pair of those ears. This game emulates RuneScape with the stupid little pebbles like for the imps and whatnot that you gotta farm out reasonably well. Most of the quests, they seem to resolve themselves pretty quickly. Some of the quests, you're gonna be out here farming level 1 mobs for a while before you get the drop you're looking for. While I'm running around crafting things and preparing for our next adventure, this game does give you an enormous bank. Like a bank that is huge, and every bank has access to these things from what I've seen so far, and so that's a very, very nice boon that they added to the game in order to make things flow a little bit easier. Aw, that's a bummer. I can't make the black hair extract until I'm like level 18, dude, and I need to carry around like 20 or 30 of these things on me at all times. I get the feeling that spider farming is in my future. That's the vibe that I'm getting right now. Craft every health potion that you possibly can for the moment. Reflex potion, it'd be nice. Like, I guess I can carry it around with me just in case I end up needing it. Like, if I fight somebody higher level than me, that plus 10 accuracy will probably help. I do like that the utility items in this game actually feel like it's worth it to go out and craft them and make them happen. And in fact, that's one of my favorite things in RPGs is when they force me to prepare for quests. I don't like it when the drop rate is so generous that you can just get all the things you need during a quest to resupply yourself. I really, really like that feeling of being like, okay, so I may need this, and just kind of like filling out your bag with all of the goodies that may potentially be helpful later on in the future. I find that to be very, very enjoyable. The preparation is part of the adventure for me. And then I think what I want to do is, I've already got all these swords and shields in my inventory. The quest is already like 50% done. So my thinking is we go blacksmith the stuff that the village needed. So I have a quest for a village that's under attack by bandits, and the militia and the army, they can't make it out there to defend them because they're like way out on the fringes of the kingdom, and they need to be supplied with weapons so that their militia can fight back. I think I'll probably do that quest real quick before we head any deeper on into this. But first I gotta raid this guy's corn farm so that I can make myself a whole bunch of corn bisque that I can eat for healing. Because we went through pretty much all of our healing supplies on that last run. And so, once again, gotta fill out the backpack so that you're prepared to adventure. So for the rest of the stuff that I need to craft, there's a mining node over here that'll give us copper. I need one more shield, and I need 2 broadswords in order to satisfy the constraints of the quest. I almost thought that I had 3 copper shields, but one of those are mine right there. The good news about this is that it gives me an opportunity to work on my mining. In my opinion, I think mining could probably have its XP increased. Like, mining feels like it levels much slower than, like, everything else in the game. I'd maybe touch it up by, like, 40 or 50% more XP. So, like, per hit, we should probably be getting, like, 18 or 19 XP. Just because it falls behind. Like, my blacksmithing's almost at level 20, and a number of my other associated things have way out-leveled it, but mining, for whatever reason, man, it just does not like to level up. Let's take this stuff to the forge. We'll see what we can knock out real quick, get that all satisfied, and then hopefully I can catch a horse out to the east, like the northwest-ish, I guess. Well, no, they're out to kind of like the northeast. If I can get out to the northeast, we'll be in good shape, drop that stuff off, and I'm guessing a battle's going to commence when we do that too. This game seems to like little running battles on some of the maps. Blacksmithing, you just got to find yourself a forge, obviously. I know there's one back here, kind of like in the starter area. We'll craft that stuff into ingots, and I don't think that I'm going to have enough to make everything that I need for the quest, but XP's XP. We need 2 more copper broadswords. We have the stuff for that, so we'll craft 2 of those. There's our 3 copper broadswords, and I need 1 more shield. The shield's gonna cost me 4. I think I have 3 inside my ingot bag right now. Perfect, saving me a trip back to the mining node. Love to see it. Alright, so there's all of our shields. Those are all ready to rock. Let me equip my gear, that way I don't accidentally give it away. And then I'm going to head out to that battlefront over there. We'll resupply the militia, and then we'll kind of see what happens. Because a lot of the quests in this game are multi-stage. Like, they aren't just over the second you drop off stuff. Usually there's, like, follow-up quests. Luckily, there's a horse node going exactly where I'm trying to go. They've also got their own version of like chocobo music when you're on a ride, which I actually like a lot. It's one of those little details. I mean, the game is chock full of little details. Like when you see birds flying overhead, if you have a bow in hand, they're not just decorative. You can actually shoot the bow. You can shoot the birds out of the air with your bow and whatnot, which is always really, really nice. I'll probably just stop right here. Pulling up on Shearston Estate. Let's see if we can drop off these goodies with the townsfolk. There you go. There's your arms. I can't thank you enough, pale friend. You've given us a fighting chance. Oh yeah, have I mentioned that I look like a zombie? People are going to comment on it the entire game because I was dead for 100 years before I got resurrected. I've done my best to cover myself up with armor and whatnot so people can't tell that I'm basically an undead warlord, but like, it is what it is. You've given us a fighting chance. We shouldn't waste it on waiting for the bandits to move. I think we ought to strike their positions. Though you've already helped us more than we had any right to hope for, I must ask that you join my husband in the assault. He needs an experienced fighter watching his back. If you're up for it, I can actually think of a daring solo mission for you involving fire. There's a very special kind of plant out in the woods north of the shed. Bring 5 to Brianna, the wise woman living in the hut opposite the main building, and she'll know what to do with them. Okay, a Firestick mixture? I don't know if I can pick Firestick. I guess I'll have to find out. Well, they weren't kidding. It wasn't a long run to get to the Firestick. It's like right here. I'm guessing there'll be some kind of opposition that hits us, though. I need 5 of those. There's a couple more over here. What is that camp right there? Is that something I should be concerned about? Why are there just a bunch of tents out here in the woods? Nobody in the tents. You should definitely explore around. There's all kinds of like optional dungeons and things that you can find all over the place. I already looted that fallen guard tower over there and it had like 500 gold's worth of stuff inside of it. Definitely worth it to explore in this game, even if a quest or an activity does not send you out there to do that. If you see a random dungeon or crypt or whatever else laying around, by all means, dive on in there and just see what goodies are hidden inside of it. I've got the 5 fire sticks. Who wanted the 5 fire sticks? There she is. Master Shearson said you know what to do with Firestick. Oh my, I can surmise he's planning to take some kind of make some of those threatening marauders uncomfortably hot. And such plump flowers you found. Lots of juice in these. She meticulously squeezes the oil from the plants into vials to make a mixture, then carefully seals them and offers them to you. There you go. Tell Master Shearston to have fun. I mean, what could be more fun than lighting people on fire? That's a totally normal, non-sociopathic thing to dream about. Lighting people on fire, making them crackle. All right, I've been to your wise woman, so you have the explosives. I know just where to stick it, too, but let's talk more on the way. You ready? All right, let's go. Moment of truth, lads. No time for fear. Let's do this. Roar! XD. Did that guy trip and fall on his way out of town? I don't feel good about this. I feel like this is definitely going to go sideways. He says he has a special task for us, and we've got to follow him. All right, I will follow you. You and I are the only guys here with capes. And as everybody knows, in an RPG, only the guys with big shoulder pads and capes actually matter. But no helmets. I'm wearing a helmet right now, so that makes me think I might be a grunt. But if we weren't wearing a helmet, we would definitely be the hero of the story. Seems my men engaged the bandits, and I'll join them soon enough. Oh, he's being all sneaky. I wonder if that animation's a placeholder for they're going to add, like, stealth and rogue-type stuff to the game. Follow me? I'm following, but, like, I don't know what our goal is here. Oh. This is a quiet little spot I scouted out before. There's a hidden path over the brambles through the thicket that should lead you into the bandit encampment. That's where the Firestick bombs come into play. As I engage them on the battlefield, circle around and hit them from behind. Burn down their camp so they have no position to fall back to. They'll be forced to retreat and hopefully leave us alone. Whatever happens, meet us at the farm estate when you're done. Next time we meet, I pray we'll be celebrating victory. Okay. I will go through the woods to the backside of their bandit camp. And hopefully we can burn this bitch down. And we do have bandits over here. Could probably spare a firebomb for these heroes. I don't think we need to. I'm just going to stab them to death the old-fashioned way. Oh, they have a wizard. That could be problematic. All right, we'll knock the wizard back. Yeah, the wizard's going to hurt. We got to do something about the wizard first. You know the old Shadowrun adage, dude. Geek the mage. Slash this. They actually hit decently hard. Yeah. There we go. All right, those two are down. We've got a roasting stick and it burn the hammock. Should definitely burn the hammock. There we go. Light that thing on fire. Perfect. How many of these camps do I have to take down? Burn down the entire bandit camp? Okay. Oh, there's a whole bunch of tents and things back here. Gotcha. Let me get my HP back because I wouldn't put it past this game to spawn guys on me. while I'm doing this. Oh, they're basically just Molotov cocktails. Okay. Burn the barrels. Burn the tent. Is that going to get both of them? All right, perfect. We can burn their weapons back here. Good stuff. Return to Shearston Estate. Are they not going to, like, push into this area and, like, wipe them on out? It's kind of a bummer there's nothing lootable back here. Normally this game's pretty generous with having random chests and stuff that are just around when you actually go through enemy positions and whatnot, but I think we're good here. Let's head back. Oh, there's a lot of dead guys over here, dude. Did anybody from the village survive? I also really like the way the map changes as you go through the gameplay. Like this right here with the barricade, there weren't like heads on sticks and guys impaled on like pungees and like palisades and things of that nature until the battle actually happened. And that'll just stay there now, like a reminder of this quest that you had earlier on in the game. Little details, man. I'm trying to tell you, like the essence of a good RPG is always just little details that are laying around after you get done with the questing and the epicness and all that kind of stuff. This guy's complaining because he twisted his ankle in the battle. We did it! The moment those raiders saw fire and smoke rising from the camps, the cowards took flight. Couldn't be more proud of my men. I didn't know they had it in them. And I have you to thank. Oh, and you I have to thank most of all, my pale friend. Thanks, you deserve to have Brianna's secrets for the Firestick mixture. I think you may find a good use for it. And my honest pitchfork. I know it may not be the greatest of weapons, but I'm sure a great warrior such as yourself can turn anything into a fearsome menace. Now that the road is cleared of raiders, we'll be able to cart our fine woolen clothing off the farm. I'm certain my sister-in-law will be delighted by the news. If you're interested, you should talk to her in the shed where we have a loom. Hannah will surely appreciate any help to keep that machine churning. Okay. Thanks again, pale friend. So we've got a Shearston Loom tailoring minigame that unlocked. We got a Firestick mixture recipe, which is nice. Everything that helps out with like extra little supplements because I don't have that many abilities. Like anything that I can do in between global attack cooldowns is fine by me. With this guy right here, is it a two-handed weapon? It looks like it is. The pitchfork, eh? Doesn't deal that much damage though. That would have been a nice thing to have before I did Nils yelling. I was actually looking for a spear. That's actually my chosen weapon. I love spears. I love glaives. Anything like that. Like big two-handed spears that are like 7 feet long. Those are always my favorite weapons in every single game. But this is Black Grimoire Cursebreaker. I think this game is utterly fantastic. Honestly, my only complaint about it is that it's not done yet. And I deeply, desperately wish that it was done. Like, this is one of those games that I could very, very easily, like, sink into and just lose track of time with. This is exactly the kind of RPG that I enjoy playing. And so anyways, this is probably the second or third time I've covered the game. As of right now, there's a lot of content to play around with inside of this title, so long as you don't mind the fact that it is like a Kenshi-style sandbox RPG, where you kind of do whatever the hell you want. Like, yeah, there's quests, there's narrative, there's things to participate in, but at the end of the day, none of those things are enforced and none of them are on a time limit. You kind of just like work on things and you'll have a stack of 20 quests inside of your quest log that will sort of update as you're just going around doing other tasks. Like we were fighting those bandits and then I realized I needed their loot drops for that quest right there. And that's kind of how you advance your way through the game. It is just by finding random little things as you're cruising through it, making little baby steps towards other goals. And so my name is Splattercat. I sift through the pile to find what's worthwhile in the world of indie games every single day so that you don't have to. Today up on the chopping block, it was Black Grimoire Cursebreaker. Tomorrow it'll be something else. I appreciate y'all stopping on in. I appreciate the luxury of your company, and I will catch you all tomorrow with something hot and fresh off the indie skillet. Bye, folks.